Well, hello and welcome everyone.
Happy Friday, Eric.
Happy Friday.
A
It
lot
is
of stuff
Multifamily
happening.
Weekend update, and we are in the middle of the week. It is the Weekday update
It is a
on
weekday
Tuesday.
update. Yes, but it's still our recap. Q2's off with a bang, so we just thought start a little earlier and get some really important news out to everybody.
That's right. We actually have some really important breaking news today, so we wanted to
Mhm.
keep everyone updated. This is a part of our new content strategy moving into Q2. So,
Yes.
why don't we? Do you want to go ahead and kick things off here?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, let's start it up. So Mike Whaling has actually created something brand new. He has come up with something called Future Find, which is an AI-enabled searching tool that
Wow,
lets users, aka residents, tour units that don't even exist yet.
that's really cool.
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah,
developers are pretty excited about this one. They're putting it into their design plans for anything to be pre-leased. So before lease ups are even coming on board here. Yeah.
that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool. Something else, rooftop ice rinks are starting to become the latest trend in amenities. What they're doing is they're actually freezing the pools on the rooftops to be able to start resident hockey leagues, resident ice skate, figure skating, all that kind of stuff. Win Residential mentioned that retention and slap shots go hand in hand, and I tend to agree.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be popular with our neighbors to the north, of course.
Yeah,
We definitely see this. The trend started up in Canada and it's making its way into the Midwest at this point.
yeah,
So they figured, you might as well not let all the golf simulators take up all the space. Yeah,
exactly.
awesome. Well, our good friend Tony,
Making
it's
waves.
official. It's official. Tony has landed his first Netflix gig here. It's a
Congrats.
special that's going to be called Love It or Lease It. He's going to host the show that follows couples that tour the new prop tech enhanced apartments while
Ooh,
debating whether or not to break their current lease and move out of
yeah.
their current units.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone better for this. I mean, it hasn't trended yet, but I've seen the promos on Netflix. It's pretty exciting stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited. Tony's been keeping this under wraps for a while, and it makes sense
Hmm.
why he left RPM for this. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Other news, this is exciting for a lot of residents, maybe not as much for landlords, but rent can now be paid in vibes. Built's new rent match allows residents to pay in aligned energy. And a lot of folks are saying, a lot of residents are saying it's financially liberating. But there are a few that are complaining about their rent increases.
Yeah, that makes sense. And this is obviously rolling out in California,
Hmm.
but they're typically a bellwether. So I would expect to see
Yeah.
this across the country. Yep. Well, this is kind of a fun one here. Yeah,
Hmm.
definitely
Oh yeah.
great news. Yep. So the Barbiecore lounges are the latest change that's happening. The Design Network says that pink co-working spaces in multifamily are now like the trending thing. It's really a must. So if you're on the design team, you need to think about changing everything over into pink.
Nice.
So, yeah, I mean, no one's really working. Everyone's kind of thriving,
Yeah.
and posting to Instagram, of course.
They're definitely posting to Instagram from a space like that. Yeah. Well, this is a great news. So everyone's asked Tara Samuels, like, when are you going to drop a podcast? When are you going to do your podcast? Well, she finally did it. It's How I Met Your Mentor. It's kind of like How I Met Your Mother. So each episode drops like another little breadcrumb about, career breakthroughs, hard lessons, and then kind of shows who the mentors are. We're trying to figure out who the mentor is along the way. It's a mentorship story told one piece at a time.
That's great. And I heard she bought a Winnebago and is traveling across the United States in order to do this.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff.
Yep, this is great. Well, I am very excited about this. NMHC is finally going to have the next OpTech in the metaverse. We're going to be doing this. It's going to be completely virtual. So make sure you bring your headset. You can leave your dignity at the door, of course.
Yes, but you won't have to fly, Eric. I mean, this is about
great.
time that that we invested in this. I think this is exciting stuff.
Yes, we can all have awkward pauses while we're networking in a big virtual room together. Yeah.
This news is a little cheesy, but Kairoy Residential has been using expired cheese for modular construction. It's part of their green initiative. It's both moldy and good for the environment. One project manager that works for a competitor said it smells like a value add. Although warning, this construction for modular units is not Sunbelt safe. At least early reports show that it's not.
Yeah. This is a good one. Yeah. And definitely, please don't do this in the Sunbelt.
Yeah.
Well, it's official. Jay Parsons is opening the Rent roller coaster in Las Vegas since, just in time for Apartmentalize. All these events keep happening in Las Vegas. So Jay decided what better place than to create an actual rent trend ride that features the sudden drops and poorly timed concession loops that he talks about every week on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I love a good roller coaster. Great location for it. There's plenty of conferences in Vegas this year, so hopefully he'll get a lot of multifamily action.
Yeah, I heard it's still under construction though.
Mm-hmm. Hey, there's some other news that kind of is not surprising to anyone. Leasing is now considered basically equivalent to influencing. LinkedIn put out a report recently that there's been a spike in new job titles like residential vibe coordinator and community energy ambassador. And even some companies are going as far as including in their uniform budgets for leasing, they're including money to now buy ring lights, which I think is, if you're moving in this direction, you should empower your employees that way.
Yeah, this makes sense. I think what's going to happen is they're going to be wearing harnesses all the time. So the leasing teams are being hired in, as influencer teams. They're just going to have like a harness with the ring light attached to them the entire time. Yeah. Yeah, makes sense to me. And this, of course, is a big one. Dom Beveridge has gone viral now at this point for his prop tech tarot card deck. So his next 20 for 20 is going to include the card's reverse cap rate, the amenity mirage, and of course the integrated.
Yeah, it's a really cool deck. If you're able to get your hands on it, you may not like what it shows you, but it was only a matter of time before this kind of came about, right? All the predictions. I mean, I think this was the next logical step.
Yeah, he's been spot on with his predictions. So at this point, it just makes sense for him to move to the next phase of his career and to create this.
And we've been talking a lot about amenities. There's been a few amenities in this podcast. We introduced Amenity Monster a few weeks back. Well, it's very exciting that Avalon Bay made the bold decision to add an escape room to their community spaces. Residents must solve the clues in order to actually access the amenity spaces, which I think probably cuts down on some of the traffic, right? Some of those issues with, overcrowding at the fitness center or pool. Like if you're having to go through an escape room to get there, it might be a little less crowded.
Yeah. Now, the good news is I heard if you cannot solve the escape room, that means you can't get out, and therefore you don't have to pay rent anymore.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's probably plenty more that, is going on that we don't know about, but we thought we'd share these on this Tuesday, and maybe we'll see you all Friday.
That's right. Happy April Fools, everyone.